What up, everyone? I'm Heatfire, and I feel like covering this story because to me, there's a lot wrong with it. I don't know why women decide to wait so long after there are allegations of molestation. I don't know why 15, 20 years have to go by until they come out to the public with it. Normally, what happens is if something is alleged, that they go straight to the police. But in this particular story, in this instance, that's not what happened. Danny Masterson got caught up decades later, and I'm going to talk about that. This is your first time here, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will be giving my thoughts in this video, and just let you know why I don't think he did it. All right, let's get it. So Danny Masterson, this news article says that the That 70s Show star, 47, was found guilty in late May on 2 counts of rape and was taken into custody following the verdict. The jury was deadlocked on the 3rd count. Masterson is best known for his role as Stephen Hyde on the That 70s Show, which aired for 8 seasons on Fox from 1998 to 2006, and co-starred Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Laura Prepon, Topher Grace, and Wilmer Valderrama. Now, Danny Masterson is a married man. He shares a daughter with this chick right here, Bijou Phillips. They met in the early 2000s, and they didn't actually tie the knot until 2011. Now, there are news articles stating that she doesn't plan to divorce her husband. She's actually going to stay with him through this, and that she's by his side. And I find it very interesting that he would do this to these women and not to her. And in order for this to be solidified, she would actually have to come out and say that he did something. And until she does, I don't see why this guy is actually thrown in jail over allegations, especially allegations that have spanned over well over a decade already. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some snippets of an article, and then I'll give my commentary on that. So the first one says that Jane Doe, number 1, identified only as Jen B, was a second-generation Scientologist like Masterson. They went to Scientology school as kids, and their families were close. Jen B testifies she was raped on her father's birthday in 2003. She dropped her daughter off at her parents' house, met up with a friend who was Masterson's assistant and fellow Scientologist. While there, she said she was drugged and violently raped. All right, so in 2003, why did she wait so long to say anything? This doesn't make any sense to me. This is a very serious allegation, and I mean, I don't see how or why he would even want to do that. This is just me speaking as a man, especially if you're on a sitcom show. You know what I mean? Women are going to be throwing themselves at you no matter what. So for him to just go ahead and drug a person and go ahead and do this, it doesn't make sense to me. Not when the world is your oyster, especially at his young age at the time. I'm going to go ahead and keep reading. It says Jen B eventually reported the assault to the church, just as their strict policies demanded, and I was trained to do. For a year, she did what Scientology alleged told her to do, which included meeting with Masterson. A Scientology executive claimed he would apologize and make a promise to never repeat such a crime on any woman if he would just hear me describe in detail how awful and violent the assault had been for me. So, according to her, there is this policy, this rule that you don't go to the cops if anything ever happens. You go straight to them. They bring the person forward, and you guys hash it out with an executive. I know all churches are different, but a crime is a crime, and all crimes should be reported, right? But here's the thing. When people hear these allegations, they always go with the woman. They never want to hear what the man has to say, because if a woman has said it, then it must be true, right? The problem is that women lie, and they lie all the time. I've been in court with my ex-wife, and she lied her ass off to the judge. And they favor women in the courtroom. That's just the way it is. And as a man, you step into that courtroom, even with the lawyer, more times than not, it's a lose-lose situation. And it's just sad that our society favors women, even though they do lie. It is what it is. Until things can turn around, I don't see the society changing until that actually happens. I actually do think that he should appeal this decision, especially there's no rape kit. She says she was drugs. What drug? There's a lot of detail missing. The only thing she had to do was go to court and cry and let everybody know how she felt about the situation. Just to garner the sympathy of the jurors, and that's exactly what she did. And then more witnesses came forward, which is another person came forward. Actually, two more women came forward, and they cooperated to the stories, and this is how he got caught up. But I'm going to go ahead and continue reading. It says 1 month later, after hearing of another alleged victim, Jen B reported the rape to police. I knew Danny couldn't stop, she told the judge. So you see right there, she's, painting this guy out to be a monster. Even though he is married and he has a daughter, unless his wife, like I mentioned, would come forward and testify also, that, hey, he got caught up. He didn't let me know about this, but I'm going to go ahead and, stick on the side with these women and divorce him, because I know that he is a monster and he did these same things to me. But she's not. She's actually sticking with him and by his side through all of this. Jen B detailed an emotional and physical trauma she endured since the incident. She no longer has parents. Her father passed away more than a decade ago, and her mother, who was still in good standing with Scientology, disowned her in 2020. She had warned me ahead of time she wanted to see Danny Masterson brought to justice for raping me, but not at the expense of her religion. Their religion, Scientology. Masterson was convicted of raping Jane Doe number 1 and Jane Doe number 2, but a jury could not unanimously decide on their count of forcible rape involving Jane Doe number 3. Jurors were deadlocked 8-4 in favor of conviction, who has since come forward as Chrissy Carnell Bixler, the actor's girlfriend for 6 years in the early aughts. Alright, so this is another thing that stands out to me. So you have Mr. Masterson and this chick right here, Bixler. They were together 6 years, right? So through the whole time of their relationship, that's all he was doing to her. Why would she stay in that situation? Why wouldn't she go to the police? Why wouldn't she let other people know? It's taken all these years for her to come forward, and to me it sounds like jealousy. It sounds like a money grab. It sounds like a way to how can I put it, like, I don't know how the relationship ended. Maybe he kicked him to the curb when he met his wife. Maybe this is just a way for them to get back at him. Maybe this is a way to put Scientology on blast. When men are found guilty of these things, especially here in America, when you go to jail, it's no good. There's inmates there. They look at your rap sheet. They're gonna want to kill you right off the bat. Just because of what it says in your paperwork. It doesn't actually mean that you have to do anything, but just what it says makes you guilty. And this society, like I said, in a whole, always favors the women. It's just sad when the women do find, that when they're found out that they have lied, there is no repercussion for them. They get away scot-free. They don't go to jail. They don't get fined. Nothing ever happens to them. They're allowed to make these allegations and live their life as if nothing ever happened. And it's scaring me to the point where it's like, well, in order for me to engage with the woman, does there have to be an NDA sign, before anything ever happens, video recorded, and have her sign something, saying that, hey, you're not under any drugs. I'm not influencing you. I'm not promising you anything, unless there's money involved, But I'm just trying to make a point that it's getting to the point where men are just going to have to watch their back and video, document everything just in case, 10 years down the line, she can't come back saying that, oh, I was taken advantage of, or, I was drunk and you should have said no. You have more control over the situation, and I was vulnerable. Even though I was the one coming on to you, you're more responsible than I am. And, this just shouldn't be. It's always a one-sided thing. I'm going to continue reading. It says, Carnell Bixler, who the other woman is, and an ex-Scientologist, claimed she was repeatedly raped by Masterson. She said she was extremely naive and trusting when she started dating the actor at the age of 18. I believe him when he called me stupid, untalented, embarrassing trash. I believed him, but I never stopped trying to make him proud of me. I never stopped trying to think of ways to earn his kindness, which he was kind to me. It gave me hope, she wrote. It gave me a promise that maybe if I can just endure what I cannot forgive now, that maybe he could return to the person he showed me at the beginning of our relationship. Now, this kind of sounds like a Stockholm syndrome, even if, this was true. I got to go back to it again. Why would you stick with someone who's doing this to you for 6 years? Especially that. And then, a third person stepped forward and said that he did the same damn thing. So, you get 1, you get 2, you get 3. And, in R. Kelly's situation, you get many women. They all come forward. Who's to say that this guy, Danny Masterson, who's to say that, he didn't do it, But I don't believe that he did do it. Just based upon the time frame, just based upon what this chick is saying right here. It's stupid to me. It doesn't make any sense. And again, I would say the missing key component to this would be his wife, Bijou Phillips. If she were to come forward and say that he, has done some things to her, then yeah, it would absolutely solidify this. But without any evidence, these women are just, taking the stand and, crying these crocodile tears and just saying that he did these things. It's a double standard to society. It really is. Damn, I'm just at a loss for words for it, and I don't want to keep going in circles, but you already get my point on it. I don't think that this man is guilty for doing these things. Again, the time frame, the relationship status. If they wanted to get him, they could have got him sooner than right now. If he does get this dropped off, from his record, and he is forgiven of it, acquitted of it, it's going to stain him in society's eyes. It's going to be hard for him to get work again. It's going to damage his family life even more. His mental health, his spiritual health, in his religion. And, again, there needs to be more clarity to this. There needs to be more transparency. It's not right that any woman can just go to the court of public opinion. Shout out to CGA. That a woman can go to the court of public opinion and say these allegations and have a man tied up and locked away for the rest of his life. And in this case, Danny Masterson, they're, giving him 30 years for these allegations. But, enough of that, you guys. If you stayed with me so far, thank you. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.